Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Eric here from E&M Guns. I'm in beautiful downtown Nampa at the historic train depot. So we'll do a little 2A update, and as we walk around downtown here and kind of check out the sights. We've had a busy week in 2A this week. I'll start you off with the ATF's new rule, which has been all over the internet. Of course, it's a new definition of what defines a dealer who's in the business of being an FFL, which kind of ties into that ATF raid last month in Arkansas. And speaking of those boys in Arkansas, their Attorney General and their Senate House representatives are pushing the ATF for some answers. Okay, so that's where the ATF raided the home of the airport executive at the Little Rock Airport, Brian Malinowski. And it was a 6 a.m. raid. Of course, you guys all heard this. You know, he was shot and killed by the ATF. I gotta tell you guys, that's quite scary because as a, as a 2A advocate owning guns, that's exactly what I bought guns for, in case someone tries to do my family harm. 6 a.m. kicking in my front door is definitely going to trigger my response to shoot. Also, the dog's response to bite someone who's coming in uninvited. So I feel a way about that, and I hope we all do too. We need to, there's no real reason under the sun to invade that guy's home at 6 a.m. doing no knock. They could have got him at work. The airport's a no gun zone, gun free zone. Easily could have got him at work. So that's the ATF's new rule. Who's going to be a dealer? You want to geek out on that? Washington Gun Law and the Arms Attorney do an excellent job at geeking out on that. So as we're walking here, I'm going to move on to the next topic, and that is Washington has a high capacity magazine, or as I call them, a standard capacity magazine. They have an appeals court commissioner who's going to rule whether it can stay in place while the appeals process goes on, or if it stayed until the appeal process is done. We're rooting for you folks in Washington. I don't think any state should be allowed. I think there's 9 of them right now that have large capacity, or as I call them, standard capacity magazine ban, or magazines. There's 9 states that have the ban on it. I think California's is getting struck down. The FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition, they filed a lawsuit there in California for non-residents concealed carry.
Fine.
So in California, they don't issue a CCW to a non-resident, and therefore they have no way for someone passing through California to exercise their Second Amendment rights. So the Firearms Policy Coalition, in the case is called Hoffman v. Bonta, and if you want to geek out on the details on that, the UCCA's YouTube page does a great job of explaining that one. The kind of neat thing about that case of Hoffman v. Bonta is that actually might bring about reciprocity nationwide. Melinda, am I still in the shot?
Yeah.
Okay, I switched arms.
No matter how you do it, you're in the picture.
Okay, now we'll get on to Oregon. If you remember right, Measure 114 had all kinds of gun control in it. And they have a constitutional judge there in Harney County that basically ruled it unconstitutional. Well, Oregon's Attorney General appealed it, and the appeals court basically is maintaining a stay. So they wanted the 114 to go in effect. So Oregon's Attorney General wanted to maintain the status quo and then, put into effect Measure 114, which which ice cream's open, which would basically put the law in effect, and the appeals court judge declined that offer or declined that motion by the Oregon Attorney General. All right, the last thing on my list is the ATT, Arms Trade Treaty. So the National Association of Gun Rights is opposing and actually have gone to the UN to voice their opinion about the U.S. signing on to that. In essence, it is tanks, missiles, attack helicopters, basically ordnance that militaries would use that civilians don't have access to. I may have to go that way because
That's loud.
it'll get a strike. That's a copyrighted song. I did it my way. Okay, so back to the back to the Arms Trade Treaty and the UN nations that obviously Biden is thinking about signing. One of the provisions in there is a small arms provision. It's the very bottom. I'll put it up on the screen if you really want to geek out on it. Jared over at Guns and Gadgets did a great video on it and explaining in detail about what the Arms Trade Treaty is. I'm gonna let this guy go. In essence, okay, I guess we're going. In essence, that Arms Trade Treaty has a provision there for small arms treaty, and hence this is why President Biden wants to sign on to it. If I look at the one Denmark signed on to, because they're one of the countries that have, it looks like they allow nothing bigger than a 9mm, and they limit certain types of weapons. I was trying to see if you could own an AR-15 in Denmark, and I really couldn't get a square answer on that. But my guess is you're not allowed to have assault weapons, according to that treaty. And that's probably why the National Association of Gun Rights is fighting so hard against it, which I don't disagree with them. That would circumvent our Second Amendment and give Joe Biden his assault weapons ban that he so desperately wants. And again, that we're so desperately opposed of. '80s.
Yeah, the 80s.
So that's the week in review for the Second Amendment on the news. Guys, I encourage you to get involved with any of your 2A advocacies. Local, regional, anybody like GOA or National Association of Gun Rights that are going to fight for your right to carry weapons. As usual, thanks for coming along in the walk. Or as the gentleman on Reddit said in one of my comments, doesn't do no good to prepare for bug out if you're out of shape. So we're taking advantage of that and we're doing a little walk around downtown Nampa here. Guys, I hope you appreciate the video. I hope you like it. Give me your comments on what you think about what we discussed. You guys have a great week. God bless you. Peace out.